And welcome back to my film and TV channel. And we're going over to Netflix. And we're going over for a Spanish series. Thankfully, if like me, you don't get a lot of time to sit and read subtitles. You might do other bits and pieces. This has been dubbed into English, so you can watch it in the subtitles or you can watch the dubbed version. In Spanish, it's called El Refugio Atomico. Something like that. My apologies for pronunciations. Simply in English, Billionaires Bunker. There you go, Billionaires Bunker. A Spanish sci-fi thriller television series. When I say sci-fi, it's modern day sci-fi. Created by Alex Pina and Esther Martinez Lobato. The series released on Netflix on the 19th of September. I'm doing this review on the 24th of September 2025. Please, guys, before we have a quick chat about this, and I'm in the minority on this one with my views, but I'll stick with them because, I'll stick with what I said. Please, if you do like it, hit that like button. You just subscribe if you're not already done so if you enjoy the content. And of course, if you do have or can see a hype button, some people can, some people can't. On YouTube, there's a hype button which helps the channel if you push that. Give me some points on there. That's wonderful. That helps the algorithms and all this sort of thing. So if you can support me like that, guys, much appreciated. If you do see it, I know a lot of people have been asking me where's the hype button, and I have it on my two laptops, but I don't have it on my tablet, so it just seems to be a bit hit and miss where it is. I'm sure there's ways of finding it, but anyway, if you can, guys, much appreciated. If you want to help support the channel in other ways, there are ways of doing it. If you just give us a minute or two at the end of this as well, but we'll get on with the review. The plot of this, quite simple really. In the face of the threat posed by an imminent nuclear war, a group of billionaires hide in a bunker called the Chimera Underground Park. Resentment between two families, and that's all what it's really about. This is about two families who have a reason to resent each other, because there's dozens and dozens of other people roaming the bunker, but we never really get to see what they're on about, apart from the guys who, of course, run the bunker themselves, the staff, if you like. You call them staff, colleagues. I think they're called colleagues in Asda. Perhaps they're called colleagues in the bunker, I don't know. Anyway, it's a claustrophobic environment, of course. And the owners of the bunker have their own ambitions and desires as well, and that's the whole form of the plot. This stars, of course, generally Latin or Spanish actors. Don't know too many of them. There's a couple that look very plasticky, look very afternoon soap watching South America soap watch. But it's Pau Simon, Alicia Falco, Mirin Ibogren, Augustina Bisio, Joaquin Furiel, Natalie Verbecki, Carlos Santos, Montsiguala, and Alex Villazan. There you go. Probably got all them totally wrong. My apologies. My little thoughts on this. It's not getting great reviews, but I did like the idea. I did like the plot. It's a sort of poor man's or billionaire's version of things like Silo, which I loved, and Paradise, which I've never watched. I'll have to go back and watch that. I don't think I have anyway. I might have to check up on that one. Anyway, the dubbing is fine. Nothing wrong with the dubbing. The acting, the English actors or US actors, whoever they are, have done the dubbing. It's fine. It does have a low budget feel, of course, not because of the dubbing, just for the setting. As you can tell, there's not been millions and millions spent on this, but I enjoyed the story as it played out. There are problems with it, but we'll talk about that. Of course, it's all about the two families at war. So that gives you the soapy element, which is fairly routine, occasionally cringy. They do throw a little too much of sort of sex at you just for titillation. It's unnecessary, really, but it's to fill the time. 8 episodes is probably could have been done in a little bit less. And it is hard to like any of them. There's not many characters in this initially you like, because the billionaires are so up themselves anyway, so privileged, they're annoying. And even the poor bunker employees, you quite soon know there's something else going on, so you don't particularly like them either. So you got pretty much a cast and characters that are, the cast is okay. As I said, it's not brilliant. It's okay, but you can sort of dislike everyone on screen, but still be entertained. And as this progressed, it certainly ticked the boxes for me. I was quite enjoying it. There's lots of plot holes, of course. I mean, these dozens and probably hundreds of people have paid millions and millions of dollars to get into this bunker. So you have to ask questions about why does it play out like it does? Because one of the big plots in this it's a big con that's going on. But I mean, if all these people paid $40 to $60 million to get in this bunker, they must be absolutely loaded. These guys, from that. So all right, they've had to pay for building the bunker and various things. But you think, well, why do they have to keep trying to get extra money? Just get them in the bunker, and one night where everyone's asleep, all sod off. But anyway, as I said, there's so many plot holes in this, and I like that. It makes you think a little bit about other ways of doing it. And we do get to know, despite 8 episodes, very little about backstory, certainly about the bunker colleagues, I'll call them, because the motivations there, we know what the motivations are. It looks like pure money, but we don't know much about the past or what they were up to. I mean, there's one weird guy with a big, massive moustache, a bit like, who's that? Robotnik, yeah, was it Robotnik with the big moustache? I don't know where that's come from, but you don't get really much backstory. And I think if it had a bigger budget, it could have gone into things a little bit more, and we may have cared a bit more as well initially. As I said, there's a little too much needless sets going on to push it to its 8 episodes, I suppose. But that gives it that soapy afternoon, South American style soap theme, with the sex and the two families warring with each other. Jonathan Wilson from Ready Steady Cut said, Billionaires Bunker has a great premise that is unfortunately abandons over too long runtime, eventually succumbing to repetitive plotting and thrills. Yeah, it is one of those I kept, looking at my phone and doing a couple of other things. And but then again, at the times I did want to watch it. So it was an interesting one. It was quite watchable in parts, but also a bit, oh God, get on with it. In other parts, you're getting a bit, as Jonathan said there, a bit samey. I think you can get the gist of where I'm coming from this. I mean, there's a lot of negatives, but I did like it, and I think where the series really hits for me, and I really liked, is the big con that's going on. That you do get a drip of information with these bunker colleagues. You get to see what happened as backstory and how they set this thing up. Of course, actually building this bunker would have cost probably more money than anyone could afford, but perhaps he got loans from the bank, I don't know. But again, it's just plot holes, and we don't find out too much about that. But of course, the series progresses with this big con. That gets more interesting. Of course, you've got one of the smarmy rich guys who's going to be get his comeuppance, which is good. And of course, a couple of the spoilt kids sort of start to doubt what's going on in the bunker, which is good, because obviously you then have a little plot where there's an escape attempt, like an escape from prison. So that's good. So as it goes on, it gets rid of all this silly family nonsense and gets a bit more interesting with that those two plots, the sort of scam and the escape. It is, for the most part, of course, it is brainy neutral afternoon soap style stuff, as we've said. But yeah, I think if you I did find myself putting my phone down and concentrating on certain scenes, because they got more and more interesting as the series progressed. And by the final episode, I was pretty much won over by the whole series. I forgot some of the crap that came earlier on. I mean, I really enjoyed it quite a lot. I was quite impressed. I was happy because I wasn't expecting too much from this, having seen some of the bad reviews. I think the low budget feel made this one of those things that people will turn off early and not give it a chance, which is a shame. Sometimes when I do these reviews, I'm glad, because if I hadn't been doing a review, I probably might have turned off myself. And by the end, even though I say the whole thing's pretty corny at times, silly at times, but overall I found it very entertaining by the end. So entertaining nonsense, I call it. But I am in a minority. Other scores for this: Rotten Tomatoes, just 38% positivity, 3 fresh and 5 rotten, so not great, but only 8 critics. The Rotten Tomatoes audience was only 57%, Joe Public. Internet Movie Database, over 1,600 scores and reviews as I'm doing this, and it's getting a 5.3, so not great, but I'm going to buck the trend. I'm going to give this a 6.5, which is my very watchable score. But I will understand if you say, Bernard, what are you on about? It's crap, because I can understand that. But as I say, this just sort of grew on me as time went by. But I can appreciate many of you probably won't give it the time of day and move on to something else more interesting, which is fair enough. But I enjoyed this, I must admit. I enjoyed the silliness of it, and as I say, certainly I think it's one of the best. If you look at things like Silo, which I love, yes, the last episode of this is one of the better climaxes to a series, no matter how big a budget. I just got really involved in the climax. I just got really, I'd say excited, but really got into it. So, but yeah, I'll give it a 6.5. Let me know your scores, guys. It'd be great to have your thoughts on this, of course, and let me know in the comments, or if you want to contact me through my social interaction places, you can. And of course, if you do want to help the channel, if you do like the content, it'd be much appreciated if you can. There are ways of doing that, and to find out how, just keep watching and listening. Hi again, hope you enjoyed the feature, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, if you did enjoy the content, please give us a thumbs up, and if not already done so, press that subscribe button. If you've not already subscribed, that'd be wonderful. It's free to subscribe, absolutely free. Also, check out my social media links if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. They'll all be in the description below. And my special thanks to supporters of the channel, yes, Piat6505, who have an eBay shop selling film and TV memorabilia, including posters, books, magazines. There'll be a link again in the comments section. And if you're into your football, don't forget my football stuff on Manchester City for general football fans, but mainly City fans, of course. Or if you know someone who might enjoy that, give them a kick in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. And as ever, guys, comments on this feature is wonderful. Anything to do with film and TV is always very, very welcome. It's great to talk film and TV. I thank you guys for your support. Stay safe, everyone.